So I came up with this because it is the actual second week of the bye week, Pez, and I'm having to fill in roster spots. And every time I fill it in with
Okay.
someone like Robert Woods, I'm thinking, am I going to have hope? Is he going to score 10 plus points for me this week? Or is it hopeless and he's going to be well below 10? So the hope is, do you have hope that this guy that you're putting in because of the bye week will get you 10 points and be a nice solid plug-in player? Or is this guy hopeless? Now I kind of scrounged around and got some interesting guys to talk about, I think. And who do we have first, Johnny? Kenny Pickett. Now, QBs are obviously different. So is it hopeful that he will get you 20 plus points? Or is it hopeless he's never going to get you 20 during these bye weeks as your backup QB?
Um, it's so. I think it's got to be hopeless, hasn't it? He's just he's done it once against the Raiders. He's not too far off with the others, but like when like you said, when you're talking about a filling and your guys like a Hurts, a Tua, or something like that, who's like normally getting you 20 plus points, yeah, you're not. You're kind of hoping around the 15 range. That's like I reckon the ceiling with this guy. Anything above
Yeah,
that, then
I
he's
think
excelled.
that this guy is actually going to be a solid starter, but I'm not sure he's ever going to be a solid fantasy guy, if you get me. Yeah, I think this. I think he
Mm.
fits exactly what
Yeah,
the Steelers want him to be, but he doesn't have that big play ability quite yet. And yeah,
yeah.
I think it's hopeless. I have Pickett on a few teams, and he's made me cry a few times.
No,
Yeah, I think you're right, Johnny. I think Pickett is hopeless. If you're banking on 20 from Pickett, you're banking in the wrong branch. Yeah, no chance. The
no
bank of
chance.
Pickett is
Yeah,
closed. Who do we
no
got
chance.
next? Sam Howell, which actually had a very solid game. I would take that as a starter for my
Mm.
team. He wasn't flashy, but he played solidly. I thought had a good decisions throughout the game. If you're having to put in Sam Howell as your backup replacement during the bye weeks, how are you feeling? Are you feeling hope? Or are you feeling hopeless? Yeah,
Hope I'd take him over Pickett because I just quickly through his games for his first 6 weeks he's had 17.9, 25.8, three against the Bills, 24.4,
yeah.
36.4, and then another
Number 11 QB
24.5.
in the Orkney Bowl.
That would in the Warrior Bowl, Johnny. That would have more than likely been that Buffalo game where he was horrendous. But
Yeah,
them stats aren't bad. Like you've got to be confident. Like in these next 2 weeks. So if you look at it, in these next 2 weeks, he's got the Giants and the Eagles, what are favourable matchups, and he does well in them. But then you're going into a stretch of the Patriots, the Seahawks. Them, I think he'll have a bad game in them two. Then the Giants again. Then he'll have a bad game against Dallas. But then his stretch is one for further down the line in the playoffs. Depending when your playoffs are run, his stretch around the playoff time is Miami, a bye, the Rams, the Jets. Well, I think looking on Sleeper here, they're saying that
I
the
don't.
Jets is a favourable matchup, but I don't think they are. I don't know why they've even don't think they got
Right
that.
now, the
So
Jets are
there's
down
games
their
there,
top
like
two
you said.
CBs, I think, right? Top two cornerbacks. Yeah.
Yeah, I think is it DJ Reed and Sauce? They were both out. Um, but yeah, definitely in a spot start. I think it will be game dependent with him, but if the matchups there like a Miami game or something like that where there's all going to be garbage time and he's going to have to throw
I
like
think it could be a
heavily and stuff.
shootout against the
Definitely
Giants.
could
I
get you them
think, yeah,
points.
garbage time or catching up time against the Dolphins. I think, yeah, if you have Howell, I'd be very happy to have Howell as my backup at this point. Yeah. All right, who we got next, Johnny? Antonio Gibson.
Yep.
I didn't mean to have another Redskin player, but Gibson scored a touchdown yesterday, which made me think, hey, am I going to plug in Gibson hoping for 10 plus points as my bye week replacement? And be like, yeah, I got Gibson. I'm excited. How you feeling if you're starting Gibson? Hopeful or hopeless?
Just if you've got to start Gibson as a replacement during your bye week, just have a
Well,
sick bucket
yeah,
next to you and hope for the best.
yeah,
That's what
I've
I
got him
say.
in a few leagues, 2 or 3 leagues
That's
only.
dangerous.
And yeah, poor Gibson. So many people, I remember 2 years ago, 3 years ago, people were talking about Gibson was going to be the next Barkley. He's just going to break out. And he's really not done anything during his time. Quite disappointing, actually. Mm.
Yeah, I just don't think he has it. Like, when people say, I just don't think he has it, kind of thing. Like Brian Robinson's come along and he's
Yeah,
just
Robinson looks. I like Robinson. He
just
looks
took him
solid.
over,
He looks
kind of
comfortable back there. Yeah, I'm with you
steady
here as
player,
well, Pez.
steady
I'm a
points.
bit hopeless on this. I don't think I would feel very confident in my Gibson backup if this was my only choice. Yeah. Who do we have
No,
next, Johnny?
not a chance.
Just for you. If I'm having Charbonneau, a little Merlot, or Charbonnet, I don't know. Yeah, Charbonnet. Yeah, with my Cabernet. Are you feeling hopeful if Zach is your bye week running back?
It
Hmm.
no, it it's so like I'm a massive Ken Walker fan, so but taking my bias to apart, like it, I've liked what I've seen from him before the bye week in them last couple of games, but like last night's game, we didn't like utilize him at all. I don't know whether the D line of the Bengals was just that solid,
Hmm.
but it's like he was hardly on the field. What is concerning, seeing as he showed good progression to then go back a couple of steps. I don't think you can rely on him at all. Now, Ken gets injured.
Is everything.
I think I think if Ken gets injured and then he gets more volume, then I think he could probably get you the points. But
If
yeah, at the
you were
moment, I
in a
don't think you can go
dynasty
anywhere
league,
near him.
would you
Just
trade a
anywhere near
first
him,
round draft choice for
unfortunately.
this guy?
No, but if I was in a dynasty league and if you're in a dynasty league
Yeah.
and you could get him for less than a first,
2 seconds.
I'd
2
definitely try
seconds.
and acquire him, but I wouldn't
No.
spend a first on him. Not a chance. Not.
Yeah.
He's not shown enough. Like the talent's there, but the issue is he's shown flashes, but he's not shown enough consistency, and that's the issue for him. Is he's got Ken Walker in front of him, who in my opinion is an elite running back. Like I said it when we drafted him. I feel sorry for him as a player because I don't think he's going to
Right.
truly get to show, his full potential in our team unless Ken gets injured. And I think it was stupid on our team
Yeah,
for
that's
picking
what
him up
confuses me.
because at
Second
that
round pick, right?
draft spot we could have maybe picked some.
Seattle has
Yeah,
drafted well through the years, actually. What I believe that, I think Schneider's done an amazing job putting together a team for Carroll. But they have struck out on running backs almost every single draft. It was shocking to see them draft this guy in the second round. And then they never use him. Carroll know something that we don't know.
But the thing is, he's a really good running back, and that's the issue. If anything, it's a great pickup. It is a great pickup. But the issue is, we have Ken Walker. Like, so if anything, we've got the spoils of riches because Ken's not getting injured. What's not giving Zach enough playing time because you're not bench after what Ken did last year and what he's shown this year. You're not benching Ken Walker. Like I've said it in the Seahawks podcast I do. Like, Ken Walker is the better running back. He just is. Zach brings a different element to the game, but
yeah, that was some good.
Not to get off on too much.
I like that. That was some good insight
off topic,
from
really.
a Seahawks
Like,
fan.
I'd say it's hopeless.
And I tend to agree with you. I would also be hopeless. I would expect 3 to 5 points at most from this guy on a weekly basis. Yeah. Okay.
I'd say more 5 to 10. He's a 5 to 10 range guy. But if you're not a Seahawks fan, but you see Ken Walker get banged up,
all right, Johnny, who do we have
as you possibly could. That'd be my advice. Or in a dynasty, try and steal him cheap.
Are you feeling hopeful or hopeless with this guy?
This guy.
I'm with you. I don't need to talk about it.
Hopeless.
It's amazing how Mahomes, you never know who he's going to go with week to week. And it's certainly not this guy, apparently.
But I feel like, when's the Chiefs bye week?
Week 10.
If anyone knows off the top of their head quickly. I'll get it up here. When's their bye week? Week 10. I reckon by the time week 10 comes and they have a week, to process all their wide receiver data, after week 10, we're going to know who the wide receiver 1 is. And personally,
very well,
I think it's going to be Rashee Rice. He does more when he's targeted. He started to get targeted more. I think his snap percentage isn't great. It's a bit up and down all over the place. But that just, to me, shows how good he could be as a wide receiver if he was just put as the 1 and got more snaps, more targets, because every time he gets targeted, he's doing something with it. Like, so Sky Moore, he's a bit part. Like, I'd rather go Rashee Rice, but I think a lot of people pick Rashee Rice up.
Yeah, me neither.
So
I'm hopeless on
I wouldn't like to go anywhere near Sky Moore, personally.
All right, Johnny, who do we have next? We got to get... Courtland Sutton, the guy that tears leagues apart. Some people think he's still worth a first. People won't pay a third. And when he's in trades, people just don't like it one way or the other. How do you feel about Courtland? Probably the same as this guy.
Do you know what? It's just, it's not been too bad. So, like, when you think about a spot start for a bye week, what you're realistically looking for in a spot start for a bye week, you're looking anywhere between 15 plus points, aren't you? Really?
Because usually these are going to be like wide receiver
for a
5,
flex.
wide receiver 6.
Because if you,
they're pretty down. They're pretty low on the
exactly. List. But then if I read his points off to you, 14.7, 14.3, 20.6, 12.4, 3, 16.1. So now we're talking about a spot start.
Yeah.
That's not a bad spot start, but we all have memories and we all know what he can do to you. So, he's one of them. Yeah. So he's one of them guys, you just know you're staring at him and you're going, he's not getting 2 bad points like as a flex. But I know that week I start him, he's going to get 3 points.
I sent out a trade with the guy for a first-round pick. I have Wilson, and I wanted to trade him. And he was ranked like number 8 in the league. And I'm thinking, oh, this guy needs a QB. And of course, he goes out Thursday night, the night that I give out the trade offer, and just stinks it up. I don't think I can even get a third round draft choice with the guy now. Danger Wilson, danger to start. Man.
Oh man! But
all right, I think we both agree.
do you know what's interesting? Do you know what's interesting on Rusto? Like he's in total. I think it's total yards on the season. He's ranked 12th.
Yeah.
So there is an argument. Russ can get it done. So in the context of hope or hopeless, I'm stupidly going to say there's hope that Cortland Sutton couldn't destroy your week
I would be
by
hopeful
playing him.
that with a bit of stomach acid. yeah.
With a sick bucket.
I would need to look away as I do it. Tyler Higbee, this guy drives me crazy, man. He looks like he's going to break out every season, and then he just turns into this 15 to 16 tight end rank mediocrity. And I don't understand how the Chargers don't have a top-notch, high-scoring, top-5 tight end with Herbert. I don't understand it. How you feeling with this guy if he's your bye starter?
Hopeless. He's just a blocker now. Like Atwell, Puka Nacua, and Cooper Kupp. He's not got a hope in prayers chance of getting any consistency. He literally is just the extra blocker on the line now. That is his role, unfortunately. He might have the odd game here and there, but whilst them three are all healthy and on the field.
I'm with you. And I think that's our last one, Johnny.
I'm hopeless. I would not like